Fam, in this video we're talking about one of the most heartbreaking betrayals you'll ever hear. A story about two cousins who grew up like brothers, who trusted each other with everything, and how that trust led to murder. This is a story about money, jealousy, a woman, and how family loyalty can be destroyed in an instant. Today we're covering the story of Anthony "Ant" Davis and his cousin Marcus "Mark" Davis from Detroit, Michigan. Two young men who shared the same last name, the same blood, and the same neighborhood. But one of them wouldn't make it to see his 26th birthday. Now here's what makes this story so tragic. Anthony had just gotten a settlement check for $50,000 from a car accident. He was planning to use that money to move his mother out of the hood, start a business, and build a better life. He told everyone in the family about it. He was excited, he was proud, and he trusted his cousin Marcus with that information. But according to police and court documents, Marcus had other plans. Marcus was broke, he was in debt, he owed money to the wrong people, and he had been sleeping with Anthony's ex-girlfriend behind his back. When he found out about that settlement money, something changed in him, and 3 weeks later, Anthony was found dead in his own car, shot 5 times, with $5,000 missing from his wallet. Before we get into it, I want you to remember, I won't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right into it, fam. Today we're going to Detroit, Michigan, specifically the East Side. Detroit has a complicated history. Once known as the Motor City, the heart of America's automotive industry, Detroit has faced decades of economic decline, population loss, and rising crime rates. The east side of Detroit includes neighborhoods like East English Village, Gratiot, and the areas around 7 Mile Road. These neighborhoods have been hit hard by poverty, unemployment, and violence. Many of the factories that once provided good-paying jobs are now abandoned. Houses sit empty, businesses have closed down. But despite all that, Detroit has a strong sense of community. Families stick together. Neighbors look out for each other. There's a pride in being from Detroit, a resilience, a determination to survive and thrive despite the circumstances. Family is everything in Detroit. That's what people say. Blood is thicker than water. You ride for your family no matter what. That's the code. That's what Anthony believed. And that belief would cost him his life. But today we got to talk about what happens when that family bond is broken, when blood turns against blood, when the person you trust most becomes the person who takes everything from you. Let me take you back to the beginning. To understand this story, you need to understand the relationship between Anthony and Marcus. Anthony Davis was born on June 12, 1998. He was the oldest of 3 kids. His mother, Sharon, raised him and his 2 younger sisters in a small house on the east side. His father wasn't in the picture. Sharon worked 2 jobs to keep the lights on and food on the table. It wasn't easy, but they made it work. Anthony was a good kid. He stayed out of trouble. He graduated high school. He got a job at a warehouse making $15 an hour. It wasn't much, but he was proud of it. He was helping his mother with bills. He was saving money. He had dreams of starting his own business one day, maybe a barbershop or a car detailing service, something that could grow. Marcus Davis was Anthony's cousin on his father's side. He was born 3 months after Anthony on September 3rd, 1998. Marcus's mother, Linda, was Sharon's sister-in-law. The 2 families were close. The boys grew up together. Same neighborhood, same school, same friends. But while Anthony stayed on the straight path, Marcus got caught up in the streets. He started selling drugs when he was 16. He dropped out of high school. He got arrested a few times for possession and assault. By the time he was 25, he had a record and no real job prospects. Despite their different paths, Anthony and Marcus stayed close. Anthony never judged Marcus. He would always say, "That's my cousin. That's my blood. I'm not turning my back on him." When Marcus needed money, Anthony would help him out. When Marcus needed a place to stay, Anthony would let him crash on his couch. When Marcus got arrested, Anthony would be the one to bail him out. Anthony's mother, Sharon, would warn him. She'd say, "Baby, I love Marcus, but you need to be careful. He's not on the same path as you. Don't let him drag you down." But Anthony wouldn't listen. He'd say, "Ma, that's family. I got him." That loyalty would be his downfall. Now let's talk about the money. In January 2024, Anthony was involved in a car accident. He was driving home from work when another driver ran a red light and T-boned his car. Anthony suffered a broken arm, whiplash, and back injuries. He was in the hospital for 3 days. He couldn't work for 2 months, but the other driver was at fault, and they had insurance. Anthony hired a lawyer and filed a claim. The case was settled out of court. In March 2024, Anthony received a settlement check for $50,000. $50,000 for someone who had been making $15 an hour. This was life-changing money. This was a chance to do something different, to build something, to help his family. Anthony was smart about it. He didn't go out and blow the money on cars and jewelry like some people might. He had a plan. He told his mother, "Ma, I'm going to use this money to move you out of this neighborhood. I'm going to get you a nice house in a safe area, and I'm going to use the rest to start a business." Sharon cried when he told her. She said, "Baby, you don't have to do that. That's your money. You earned it." But Anthony insisted. He said, "Ma, you sacrificed everything for me and my sisters. This is the least I can do." Anthony deposited the check into his bank account, but he also kept some cash on hand, about $10,000 in cash. He kept it in a safe in his bedroom. He figured he might need cash for down payments or deposits or things that couldn't be done with a card. And here's where the problem started. Anthony told people about the money. He was excited. He was proud. He told his family. He told his friends. And he told Marcus. According to people close to both of them, when Marcus found out about the settlement, something changed. He started acting different. He started asking Anthony questions. "How much did you get? Where are you keeping it? What are you going to do with it?" Anthony didn't think anything of it. He trusted Marcus. He told him everything. He even showed him the safe where he kept the cash. He said, "Man, this is going to change everything for my family. I'm finally going to be able to help my moms out." Marcus smiled and said, "That's what's up, cuz. I'm happy for you." But according to what came out later, Marcus wasn't happy. He was jealous, and he was desperate. See, Marcus had problems. Big problems. He owed money to some dangerous people, drug dealers he had been buying from on credit. He owed about $8,000, and they were pressuring him, threatening him, telling him if he didn't pay up soon, there would be consequences. Marcus had been trying to come up with the money. He had been doing small jobs, selling whatever he could, but it wasn't enough, and time was running out. And then there was the girl. Her name was Keisha. She had been Anthony's girlfriend for about a year. They had dated, broken up, and stayed friends. Anthony still cared about her, but they weren't together anymore. But what Anthony didn't know was that Marcus had been seeing Keisha behind his back. According to court documents and witness statements, Marcus and Keisha had been sleeping together for about 3 months. They were keeping it secret because they knew Anthony would be hurt. They knew it would cause problems. Keisha knew about Anthony's settlement money too, and according to prosecutors, she and Marcus had been talking about it, about how they could use that money, about how it could solve all of Marcus's problems. Now, I'm not saying Keisha was directly involved in what happened next. She was never charged with anything, but according to investigators, she played a role in setting things up. She was the connection, the motivation, the reason Marcus felt like he had to do something. April 20th, 2024. It was a Saturday night. Anthony had been out with some friends celebrating. Nothing crazy, just dinner and drinks. He was in a good mood. He had just put a down payment on a house for his mother, a nice 3-bedroom house in a safer neighborhood. She was going to move in next month. He was excited to tell her. Around 11 p.m., Anthony got a call from Marcus. According to phone records, they talked for about 5 minutes. Marcus told Anthony he needed to talk to him about something important, something private. He asked if they could meet up. Anthony didn't hesitate. He said, "Yeah, cuz, where you want to meet?" Marcus said, "Come pick me up. We can ride around and talk." Anthony's friends told him to be careful. One of them said, "Man, it's late. Can't it wait until tomorrow?" But Anthony said, "Nah, that's my cousin. If he needs me, I'm there." That was the last time his friends saw him alive. Anthony drove to Marcus's apartment on the east side. According to surveillance footage from a nearby gas station, Marcus got into Anthony's car around 11:30 p.m. They drove off together. What happened next, we know from Marcus's own confession and forensic evidence. According to Marcus's statement to police, they drove around for about 20 minutes. They were talking. Marcus was telling Anthony he was in trouble. He owed money to some dangerous people. He needed help. Anthony, being who he was, said he would help. He said, "How much do you need?" Marcus said, "About $8 grand. Anthony said, "Damn, cuz, that's a lot. But I got you. I can't give you all of it right now, but I can give you $5,000 tonight. That should buy you some time." Marcus said okay, so they drove to Anthony's house. It was around midnight. Anthony's mother and sisters were asleep. Anthony went inside, went to his bedroom, opened the safe, and took out $5,000 in cash. He came back to the car and handed Marcus the money. He said, "Here you go, cuz. Pay those people off and stay out of trouble. I don't want to see you get hurt." Marcus took the money. He counted it. And according to his confession, that's when something in him snapped. He looked at the money in his hands, $5,000, but he knew there was more in that safe, 5,000 more, maybe even more than that. And he thought about his debt, about Keisha, about how this money could solve everything. And he made a decision that would destroy two families. Marcus pulled out a gun, a 9mm handgun he had been carrying. Anthony saw it, and his eyes went wide. He said, "Yo, what are you doing?" "Mark, what's going on?" Marcus said, "I need the rest of it. I need all of it." Anthony said, "Man, I just gave you 5,000. That's all I can give you right now. Put the gun away. You're scaring me." But Marcus didn't put the gun away. He pointed it at Anthony and said, "Drive, we're going back inside. You're going to give me the rest of that money." Anthony was in shock. This was his cousin, his blood, the person he had helped over and over again. And now he was pointing a gun at him. Anthony tried to reason with him. He said, "Mark, please, don't do this. That money is for my mom's. I'm trying to get her out of here. You don't have to do this. We're family." But Marcus wasn't listening. He was desperate. He was scared. And he had already crossed a line. According to Marcus's confession, Anthony refused to go back inside. He said, "I'm not giving you anything else. If you're going to shoot me, but I'm not helping you rob me." And that's when Marcus pulled the trigger. The first shot hit Anthony in the chest. Anthony gasped. He looked at Marcus with disbelief, like he couldn't believe this was happening, like he couldn't believe his own cousin had just shot him. Marcus panicked. He fired again, and again, and again. 5 shots total, 3 to the chest, 1 to the stomach, 1 to the neck. Anthony slumped over in the driver's seat. Blood everywhere. He was still breathing, but barely. He was trying to say something, but no words came out. Marcus sat there for a moment, frozen. He had just killed his cousin, his blood, the person who had always been there for him. But then, survival instinct kicked in. He had to cover this up. He had to make it look like something else. Marcus took Anthony's wallet. He took the $5,000 he had just given him, plus another $300 that was in the wallet. He took Anthony's phone. He took his chain. He was trying to make it look like a robbery. Then he got out of the car, looked around to make sure no one saw him, and ran. He ran back to his apartment about 6 blocks away. Anthony was left in his car, bleeding out, dying alone. His mother and sisters were asleep inside the house, not knowing that their son and brother was dying just outside. A neighbor found Anthony the next morning, Sunday, April 21st, around 7 a.m. The neighbor was walking his dog and saw Anthony's car still parked on the street with the engine off. He looked inside and saw Anthony slumped over, covered in blood. He called 911 immediately. Paramedics arrived within minutes, but it was too late. Anthony had been dead for hours. He was 25 years old, 3 weeks away from his 26th birthday. When the police knocked on Sharon's door to tell her what happened, she collapsed. She screamed. She couldn't believe it. Her son, her baby, dead, shot 5 times, right outside their house. The police started investigating immediately. They interviewed neighbors. They reviewed surveillance footage. They checked Anthony's phone records, and they started piecing together what happened. The last call Anthony received was from Marcus. The last person seen with Anthony was Marcus, and when police went to talk to Marcus, his story didn't add up. Marcus claimed he hadn't seen Anthony that night. He said they had talked on the phone, but they never met up. He said he was home all night. But the surveillance footage from the gas station showed Marcus getting into Anthony's car, and when police searched Marcus's apartment, they found Anthony's phone hidden under the mattress. They found Anthony's chain in a drawer, and they found the gun, poorly hidden in the closet. Marcus was arrested on April 23rd, 2 days after Anthony's body was found. At first, he denied everything. He said the police were lying. He said he didn't do it. But the evidence was overwhelming. His fingerprints were all over Anthony's car. Gunshot residue was on his hands and clothes. Anthony's blood was on his shoes. After hours of interrogation, Marcus finally broke down. He confessed. He told them everything. How he needed the money. How he pulled the gun. How Anthony refused to give him more. How he shot him 5 times. He cried during the confession. He said, "I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted the money. I panicked. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But sorry doesn't bring Anthony back. Sorry doesn't heal his family. Sorry doesn't change what he did. Marcus was charged with first-degree murder, armed robbery, and felony firearm. The prosecutor said they would be seeking life in prison without the possibility of parole. The trial happened in September 2024. It lasted 2 weeks. The evidence was overwhelming. Marcus's own confession, the surveillance footage, the forensic evidence, the witnesses. Marcus's defense attorney tried to argue that it wasn't premeditated, that it was a crime of passion, that Marcus was under extreme emotional distress because of his debts and his relationship with Keisha. But the prosecution argued that Marcus planned this, that he called Anthony specifically to get money, that he brought a gun, that he shot Anthony 5 times, that he tried to cover it up by making it look like a robbery. The jury deliberated for less than 4 hours. They found Marcus guilty on all counts. At the sentencing hearing, Anthony's mother, Sharon, gave a victim impact statement. She stood in front of the courtroom, looked Marcus in the eyes and said, "You took my son from me. You took my baby. And for what? For money? For $5,000? Anthony loved you. He trusted you. He would have given you anything. He did give you everything, and you killed him for it. You're not just a murderer, you're a traitor. You betrayed your family. You betrayed your blood. And I hope you think about what you did every single day for the rest of your life." Marcus was crying. He tried to apologize. He said, "Auntie Sharon, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen." But Sharon turned away. She couldn't even look at him anymore. The judge sentenced Marcus to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He's currently serving his sentence at a maximum security prison in Michigan. He's 26 years old. He'll die in prison. Keisha, the ex-girlfriend, was questioned by police but never charged. According to investigators, while she may have known about Marcus's financial problems and may have discussed the money with him, there was no evidence she was directly involved in planning or executing the murder. But the community knows, and she had to move away because people blamed her. They said she was the reason Marcus did what he did. Whether that's fair or not, that's what people believe. Anthony's family used the remaining settlement money to bury him and to finish buying the house he had picked out for his mother. Sharon and her daughters moved into that house. She says it's bittersweet. She's grateful for the house, but she'd give it all back to have her son alive. Sharon keeps Anthony's room exactly as he left it. His clothes are still in the closet. His shoes are still by the door. She says she goes in there sometimes and just sits, just to feel close to him. Anthony's younger sister, Jasmine, who was 19 at the time, said in an interview, "My brother died trying to help family. He died because he was too trusting, too loyal, too good, and that's what hurts the most. He didn't die because he was in the streets. He didn't die because he was doing something wrong. He died because he loved his cousin and wanted to help him." And fam, as we wrap this video up, I want to say once again, rest in peace to Anthony Ant Davis, 25 years old, a young man who worked hard, loved his family, and tried to do right by everyone. He was killed by the person he trusted most. This is a story about betrayal, about how money can corrupt, about how jealousy can turn to murder, about how family loyalty can be a weakness when the other person doesn't share that loyalty. Anthony believed in family over everything. He believed blood was thicker than water. He believed his cousin would never hurt him, and that belief cost him his life. Marcus is spending the rest of his life in prison. He's lost his freedom, he's lost his family, he's lost everything. And for what? For $5,000 that he didn't even get to keep, for a moment of desperation that destroyed 2 families. The Davis family will never be the same. Sharon lost her son, Jasmine and her sister lost their brother, and Marcus's mother, Linda, lost her son too. Because even though he's alive, he's gone. She can't look at him the same. She can't forgive what he did. 2 mothers, 2 sons, 1 family destroyed. Fam, let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. This is a heavy one. Family betrayal hits different. It's one thing to be killed by an enemy. It's another thing to be killed by your own blood. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I catch you guys on the next one.